Hello people of the internet, I'm Nico, this is a Jetta, and today I'm going to show you some of the features that I think every car should have. Just imagine that you're driving along, say somewhere in California on the coast, and all of a sudden a tsunami hits. Obviously you would want to be able to float somehow. The issue is of course that you are in a car, and cars don't float. Or can they? After a brief brainstorming session, I came up with this, a butt on the roof, which once you've gotten out via the factory installed escape hatch in the roof of the car, you can simply detach it and float away. Or of course, if you wanted to, you could fit a larger butt to the roof and make the entire car float. As you know, as you should know, you're not supposed to use your phone while you're driving. But that begs the question, how do you access Google Maps if you want to set in a destination, for example? Or change the playlist if you come across a song you don't like? How do you do anything while still keeping both hands on the wheel like you should? The answer? Get yourself a personal assistant. They can take phone calls for you, set in a destination for you, or even road rage for you. But what if you can't afford a personal assistant? To that I say, just kidnap someone. It's free. Or of course, if you have a little brother and your mother tells you to take him with you every time you go out with friends, just force him to do everything for you. Say you're driving along in the mountains somewhere. Obviously that means a lot of steep terrain and large cliffs that you can go off if you don't pay attention to the road. Of course, you would say you would just pay attention to the road because you're a safe driver. But remember, you may not have the money to afford a personal assistant to take care of everything for you. So, to prevent being killed to death, all you need are a set of fully functional wings, obviously large enough and strong enough to support the weight of the vehicle, a mechanism from which you can control everything inside, both the extension and the control of the flaps, a tail wing, which will control how you move in the air, and some form of propulsion, either in the front or the back, in case there's not a safe place to land and you need to fly to the nearest airport. So basically, if you can't afford a personal assistant, just drive a plane on the road. Now, living here in the South means that you have to contend with massive lifted pickup trucks and SUVs, driven by people with no life. And for some reason they seem to be completely oblivious to the fact that their high beams are on and they're blinding everyone within a mile of them. Obviously this presents a safety hazard, as driving with the same vision as Helen Keller is quite dangerous. To fix this, all you need is a mirror either made out of tin foil, which you can then put in the back and reflect the light back into the person's eyes so that they can experience what they've been putting you through, or you can use an actual mirror, which you can just buy at any random store, and put that in the back to reflect the light back as well. Admittedly, this last feature is a little bit of an extreme situation. Now, say the world as we know it completely crumbles and now we live in a zombie apocalypse or maybe a civil war. The two things you need in that kind of a world is transportation and firepower, which I have in the form of this very deadly Nerf gun. Now what I've done rather brilliantly is made a gun mount which I fixed to the windshield so I can shoot from the safety of the vehicle, obviously using the escape hatch which I mentioned earlier. Now let me show you just how effective this method is. Pew! Pew! Sadly, that's all the time I have today for providing highly informative content. See you next week.